Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we take a closer look at Khagan Grandeur that I unboxed a few weeks ago. Another take on a classic luxury sports watch of the 70s, a trend that was started by Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, designed by Gerald Genta, a man who also designed the biggest competitor to the Royal Oak, the Patek Phillipe Nautilus. The fact his designs live to this day and are an inspiration to many watches, including this one, shows just how successful it was and how well it stood the test of time. Khagan, or King of Kings, is a brand from Mongolia, and this is their first model ever. Considering how many emerging brands usually take a simpler and better known watch as an inspiration, usually the Rolex Submariner, for their first model, Khagan deserves respect for not only taking inspiration from a watch that is much more complex, but also taking their own spin at the design. So this is not a simple homage, nor a copy of the Royal Oak, but rather their interpretation of the style language, and one I must admit I like. Yes, there are problems and things I dislike, including the size, which is a clear case of end links making a watch much larger than it is. So even though this is a 41.5mm watch with a relatively acceptable lug-to-lug of 50.6, if you include the integrated end links of the bracelet, the lug-to-lug goes to over 54, something I also experienced with the G-Shock Royal Oak mod I reviewed. What can I say? These types of watches are simply made for larger wristed people, and that makes me sad. Another problem I have with this is the lack of any lume whatsoever. As a sports watch that even comes with 100 meters of water resistance, I expected at least some lume. One thing I will say is that the highly polished and beveled hour markers and hands do reflect even the slightest source of light. So even in darkness, if you can find any kind of glimpse of light, you will be able to tilt your wrist in such a way as to read the time. But still, lume would have been so much simpler and less of a hassle. Other than these two complaints, I really do like the watch, especially the bracelet. Even though it takes inspiration from the Royal Oak, it is not a direct copy, which is a good thing as it has fully articulating links, so it will conform to any wrist shape and size. The finishing also follows the one found on the case, with brushed top and sides and polished bevels on all links, including the small connecting links. The things I like the most are the strong taper and the hidden clasp. Both make for a seamlessly integrated design and a comfortable wear. The case, just like the bracelet, takes inspiration from the Royal Oak, but is original enough with some cool details, including the curved sides. The whole case and bezel is finished in the same combination of polished and brushed surfaces, and the finishing is okay. It's not spectacular, especially not on macro level, but when viewed with your naked eye, everything looks sharp and plays with the light well. Despite both the bracelet and case being spectacular, it is the dial that surprised me the most after looking at it under macro. The diamond pattern looks rich, and the way the date aperture is pressed into it gives an illusion that the dial is organic, almost like it's made of leather. I really like that little detail. The color also changes depending on the angle, giving complexity to what appears as a simple dial at first glance. If this royal blue is not your thing, they do offer a black, a white, and a green version as well. The hands and markers are well finished and match each other in style, and while I like that, again I miss at least some lume to make them more appealing to me. The watch is powered by the Seiko NH35, a common choice for many emerging microbrands, and that is reflected on the price of the watch. Even though the retail price of this thing is $379, they offer a 30% pre-order discount, dropping this to $265, which is pretty good for what you get. Like that wasn't enough, if you join their Indiegogo campaign, they give an additional 10% on that, bringing the price to under $240, which in my opinion makes it a no-brainer if you can handle the size and the fact it lacks any lume. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.